A motor disability is defined as the complete or partial loss of a body part's function, such as our limbs. According to the 2011 census, it was observed that more than 6 million people in our country are suffering from a motor disability. To overcome this problem, certain prosthetic devices were developed, but a normal prosthetic device could not restore the sensory ability of an individual. In order to do so, neuroprosthetic devices are being currently developed and studied. Neuroprosthetic is a combination of biomedical engineering and neuroscience. The basic principle is that the signals from an individual's brain are taken and are sent to a computer, and the computer decodes those signals and sends it to a robotic arm. The robotic arm serves as the substitute for the amputated body part. In our study, we have mainly compared and contrasted the cortical activity variation during certain arm movement tasks at the time of motor imagery, motor execution, and visual imagery. The results can be compared with standard machine learning algorithms and can be applicable in BCA related rehabilitation techniques. Our study wishes to foresee the development of low-cost neuroprosthetic devices in the economically backward regions of the country.
I'm here to explain to you about the BCI application. BCI is a device that is used to obtain brain signals, analyze them and convert them into electrical signals used to control external device to perform external action without physical effort. A BCI obtains brain signals from a placement of electrode on scalp using EEG. In recent years, there has shown a greater priority or use of BCI, especially in newer rehabilitation for disabilities such as more disabilities.
Our methodology starts with selecting the subjects. We use VMIQ questionnaire, which stands for Vividness and Motor Imagery Questionnaire, to select the subjects. This technique is widely used by the clinical psychologists in order to confirm their patients' vividness and motor imagery abilities. We have selected 16 healthy subjects using this technique, out of which 6 of them are male and 10 of them are female. They were in the age group 18 to 44. An open consent form is collected from them prior to the EEG recording in order to avoid any ethical issues. A steady hand game is given to them as it proves to improve the motor coordination skills or motor abilities. As we are more focused on cortical activation during the hand movement task, it's important to have motor coordination skills for the subjects. And we have collected the physiological data in order to confirm the physiological status. Physiological data such as SpO2, blood pressure, pulse and temperature is collected from them. And moving to our task is marble board game. Inspired from the actual marble board game, we have changed or altered this marble board game in such a way that a linear movement and complex movement is possible in this marble board game. We have two types of movement, linear movement and complex movement. The linear movement, the task lasts for 25 seconds and the complex movement it lasts for 40 seconds. We have included 3 cognitive tasks, namely motor execution, motor imagery and visual imagery in this both type of movement. We have recorded the real-time EEG data from the scalp of the subject using 14+2 electrode system. The electrodes were placed according to the 1020 International System, and after collecting all this data real time, we have done a computational analysis using MATLAB, which is embedded with EEG Lab tool.
Understanding relevant neural circuitry patterns of motor movements, the present study focused on understanding the cortical activity and associated neural dynamics for analyzing specific biosignatures in upper limb movement tasks. The study also focused on changes in EEG patterns during different cognitive tasks such as motor execution, motor imagery and visual imagery. These cognitive tasks were mapped for underpinning the brain activity patterns during motor planning and motor execution phase of motor movement tasks.
As you can see here, during planning of both movement and imagery tasks, gamma wave activation was found in temporal region T3 and theta wave activation was found in frontal region AF4. Along with this, beta and alpha wave patterns were also seen in frontal and temporal regions respectively. The execution of movement and imagery tasks showed gamma wave activations during motor execution and imagery tasks in the frontal region AF4 but not during visual imagery. but the theta wave activation was found in frontal region AF4 as seen in here during visual imagery and motor execution, but not in motor imagery. While performing the anti-clockwise and clockwise movement of motor execution task showed theta wave activation in the frontal region AF4, but the gamma wave activation was found in temporal during anti-clockwise and in frontal during clockwise movement. Similar theta wave activation was found during motor imagery, but gamma wave activation was found in anti-clockwise movement, but in clockwise movement in anterior frontal regions. During visual imagery, both gamma and theta wave activations were found in frontal regions.
Motor execution and motor imagery show similar gamma wave activation patterns, proving that motor imagery follows similar neurological patterns as that of action movement scenario. These findings may be further linked into BCA-controlled robotic articulators and motor rehabilitation for integrating in clinical strategies of motor dysfunction and other cognitive disorders. In motor imagery BCIs, users may need some initial training sessions to learn to evoke an intended brain activity to achieve an acceptable performance. So, understanding these brain activation patterns, it will augment the users to evoke a particular brain activity required for an action, and translating this into a neuroprosthetic device to mitigate motor disabilities.
The COVID-19 pandemic affected our work drastically. Initially, we planned to take recordings from 40 subjects, but we had to narrow it down. But we were able to complete our work. During lockdown, we adopted a work from home strategy due to the computational nature of the data analysis. We divided the data amongst ourselves and conducted meeting through Teams and WhatsApp for the work update. From the beginning till then, we had constant support from our mentors. Besides this, our teamwork and determination helped us to complete the work in a promising way.